Evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this edition of our ECU Dean's Town Halls. I'm Scott Francis, and I'm the president of the ECU Alumni Association, and happy to join the College of Engineering and Technology to bring you this opportunity with Dean Ploehn. We're so glad you've joined us, and I hope that you're all staying safe, healthy, sane, and well. As we get started, I wanted to share some quick ground rules and format info with you. I wanted to first let you know that we are recording this session so that our friends who couldn't be here can access it later. So please note that it will record both our screens and the chats. We've muted all your lines, and as we meet our featured guest, Dean Ploehn, he will share some information, and following that, we'll open the chat to questions from you all. For the optimal viewing experience, you should select Speaker View, which can be found on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Also, we ask that you keep those lines muted for the duration of the program. At any time, you can ask a question in the chat by clicking on the word bubble labeled chat in the user menu at the bottom of your screen. I am thankful in advance for your patience and understanding as we navigate the ins and outs of the technology. But now, without further ado, we'll get started and begin by saying hello and throwing it to Dr. Ploehn to begin our session. Once again, thank you for joining us, and go Pirates. Dr. Ploehn, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hello, everybody. How you doing this evening? I'm sorry to be competing at the 7 o'clock hour with Jeopardy. Maybe you show me, yeah, can you get my, am I showing up? My face? Good. Robert Betty Hill, good to see you. I can see everyone who's here. I'm not going to greet everyone who I know. There's some college faculty and staff here. There's a Kristen. Glad to have you. Jennifer Watson, Kara Blunt, good to see you. Kara, I'm sorry, you're a faculty member. Glad to have you here anyway. Zach, Mike Putnam's here. Taylor Brown is here. Glad to have you all. And someone on the phone, so I don't know who you are, but welcome. I'm glad to have you here, and welcome to the town hall. I've greeted everybody. We've got a nice intimate group, and I know many of you, and some of you are friends that I'm meeting for the first time. And I wanted to take this town hall to kind of introduce you to myself a little bit and tell you why I'm here. And that will lead in very well to why I think we're here and the things that I'm passionate about, the things that we're all passionate about in the College of Engineering and Technology. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started. So in tonight's town hall, for me and for the College of Engineering and Technology, it's all about maximizing student success. And many of you all who are Advancement Council members have heard this, and even more so in these days, focusing on our students and focusing on their success is the overarching priority. But first, why won't my screen move? There we go. I'll do it that way. Just a little bit about, I'll take the opportunity to share some family photos. We have my wife, Carolyn Bolton, beautiful wife. And in December, we'll celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary. And then I have two children. I have a daughter, Patty. She earned her bachelor's degree at the College of Charleston in historic preservation and community planning, a double major in art history. And now she's just started a master's program in historic preservation. It's a Clemson program that's joint with the College of Charleston there in Charleston, South Carolina. And then I have a son, Will. Patty is 23 going on 24. Will is 20 going on 21. And he is a junior majoring in mechanical engineering at NC State. And then, of course, I'm a dog person, so the queen of the house is Sheba, and she's really the one that runs the show in the house. But I show these pictures for a reason. I'm a parent, and I'm a parent of college-age children. So you know, I've been in academia for 28, 30, almost 30 years, more than 30 years now, and so I've had a lot of experience in the classroom. I have had a lot of experience in research, but I really look at this from the perspective of a parent and from the perspective of students. And so student success is really personal for me, and I know it from the parent side as well as from the faculty members side and from an administrator side. So this very serious looking picture of me in the bottom right corner, you know, I had a mid-career crisis, and I wanted to invest the rest of my quality working life in something that I had a passion for, and that was trying to help students and trying to help faculty to achieve all that they could possibly achieve. And so ECU was the perfect match for me, because little did I know that, well, I did know once I interviewed here, and once I decided to take the position, I knew it was the right place for me, because all of us share a passion for students and student success. And now over the last 3 years, it's been a question about simply crystallizing that into a vision and developing action plans to move that forward. So our overall priority, I mean, why am I here? I'm here because I want to be someplace where I can have an impact on student success. And why are we here as a university? We are here, I think our mission as a university at ECU, and certainly our mission in the College of Engineering and Technology, is to help our students succeed. We want to help them now while they are students and while they're paying tuition here with us. We want to have an impact on them now and help them be successful here. But later, after they graduate, we want to help them, obviously through the education that they gain and through the experiences that they gain. We want to help them be successful in life. And we want to help them succeed forever. We want to be there forever for you. And those of you who are on the call are examples of that. We want to be the university for life for our graduates and for our community. And I think our success should be measured by our student success. So we had a meeting today, an enrollment update, and we've reached a record 5-year graduation rate among our students as a university. Almost 63% of our students graduate within 5 years, which for the profile of students that we have is remarkable. And our first year retention this year is almost 84%. So, you know, those figures tell a story, but, you know, the pictures that I show and the stories that we learn when we see our students out there in the communities, out there in employment, are a measure of that as well. But we should be measured, our success should be measured by our student success. But, you know, when you think about what are we actually producing, what is our product? I'm an engineer. What is our product? Our product is much more than just a degree. Certainly, you know, the knowledge and skills that our students gain from our courses and our labs and our curricula, that's important. It's going to be important for them to have that knowledge in their toolbox for their jobs and for their working lives. But it's more than just classroom experience. It's the beyond the classroom experiences that are so important. And those are the things that we miss so much now that we're in the pandemic and we're separated from our students and we don't encounter them nearly as much face-to-face. The absence of those student engagements outside the classroom is something that we're struggling with and working very hard on. But, you know, the combination of the classroom experiences and the beyond the classroom experiences are what add up to our product. And for me, when you use the word maximizing student success, again, you know, I have a scientific background and I'm an engineer. And so when you tell me to maximize something, I'm really thinking about, okay, how do I measure it and how do I maximize it? And a lot of research, a lot of studies of student success have shown that student engagement is really what drives student success. And so to maximize student success, we have to maximize student engagement. Well, what does that mean? And I'm going to go a little bit deep with you here, you know, humor me a little bit. I am an engineer. And so, you know, I think about student success as being the outcome that we want to maximize. You know, let me nerd out a little bit. There's a principle in chemistry called the Chatelier's principle, which says if you have a chemical reaction, to be able to drive that chemical reaction to produce more product, you have to increase the concentration of the reactants to drive a chemical reaction forward. And so for me, it's about how do we get increasing amounts of student engagement, the quantities of student engagement, the numbers of students that we get engaged into different dimensions of what we're doing, and the quality of those engagements. And there are several dimensions of that. And the first thing is we have to have, the students have to bring the right attitude, and the right motivation to college. And sometimes students come and they think they've graduated high school, they've made it to college, they've made it, when we all know that it's really just the beginning. So helping students to have the right attitude and to be motivated is the first prerequisite to get students engaged. But then you have to not only that, but even for students with great attitude and highly motivated, all of them can use coaching and advice and mentoring. ECU, if I'll use a football metaphor, we don't just go out and try to recruit a 4-star or 5-star quarterback and then say, here you go, quarterback, here's the playbook, we'll see you out on the field on Saturday. No, I mean, the quarterback gets coaching. Every student athlete gets coaching. And every student, from those who need a lot of assistance to those who have the best possible attitude and motivation, all of them need coaching and advice and mentoring to help them realize all that they can possibly achieve. All right, so it's important for us to interact with our students on a person-to-person basis and coach them up. Then, of course, we have to have excellence in our academic programs, and we have to have teaching excellence. And I want to take a pause and show you a video that from our technology systems program that, to me, exemplifies both what we're trying to do with our program excellence and our teaching excellence. So I'll show you this video.
Hi, I'm Bill McClung, and I'm an instructor in the Department of Technology Systems. We're part of the College of Engineering and Technology, and we're really excited to be able to tell you about our new robots, the UR10 robots from Universal Robotics. Now, as a member of or a student in the industrial technology or industrial engineering technology fields here in Technology Systems, you're going to come in and you're going to have a hands-on program. You're going to start by building some simple microcontroller robots. These are a lot of fun, they're easy to do. We're going to move you up to equipment that's more traditional. This is a traditional industrial robot, 6 kilogram capacity, and obviously you can see how it works. But the most exciting thing is the ability to come in and start working on these. These are collaborative robots, cobots, and that means that human beings can work closely with these robots, and that means that is going to change the way that people use robots in industry. And what's exciting is, so our graduates, the people coming through our industrial technology and our industrial engineering technology programs, will have the opportunity to get this training and hit the ground running when they get out there in industry. So we really hope that you'll come to see us here in Technology Systems. Thank you very much.
So I hope you got all that. I hope the sound came through okay. Stephanie, give me a thumbs up if it worked. Okay, good. So, to me, that exemplifies program excellence. I mean, those collaborative robots. We spent over $100,000 last year to invest in that technology. And we spend money and we spend time and effort to make our programs cutting edge, so that the students' academic experience will prepare them well for what they'll experience right away when they go out and go out into the workforce. But also, you can have excellent academic program, but if you don't deliver it with excellence, if you don't know how to teach, if you're not an excellent teacher, you fall short. And that video with Bill McClung, you could tell his passion for what he was doing. And did you learn something from that video? You learned that you begin to learn about robotics by building a little robot from a kit, and then you can move on to a common industrial robot and learn how to program that. And then you learned about collaborative robots. And just in that little video, he taught you something about robotics. And also, I think he exudes the passion that we have to help our students to excel in the academic programs that we serve. So, academics, critically important. But then going beyond the classroom, the experiential learning, the student organizations. I'll show you some photos in the next slides. The student teams and competitions that we get our students to engage in. More and more students are interested in entrepreneurship. We want our students to participate in internships and research and study abroad. All of these different dimensions of experiential learning beyond what they get in the classroom are critical. And the more our students, the more of our students and the more our students can engage in these different kinds of experiential learning, the more successful they'll be. Of course, we want them to be successful academically. We want them to get good grades and to really learn what we have in our programs. But the coaching, the advice, the mentoring on attitude and motivation, we want our students to develop a good sense of who they are as people. We want them to understand and think about what their values and goals are. And we want them to have both social and societal success. We want our students to be able to interact well with other people. We want our students to understand the value of diversity. We want our students to be able to listen and to speak in a civil way and to engage as citizens who think and consider before they act. And then, of course, professional success. They need to know how to dress and act for success, professional development. And then they need to understand the value of lifelong learning, that just because you graduate from ECU doesn't mean the learning stops. And of course, career success. We want them to be successful in their careers and their professions and to explore and find the right career path. So just examples, our student organizations, we probably have 25 different student organizations. I'll point out the Society of Women Engineers, for example, their gala, fundraising gala to raise money for local robotics teams. One of the outstanding events at ECU last year, and the organization's president, Antonia Dingman, won one of two outstanding student organization officers last year. So we have some great student organizations for students to engage in. And then teams, our ATME robotics team out of the Technology Systems Department, they participate in ATME National Conference every year, or robotics competition. And this year they won first place in a national competition for their robot that they designed and built and then took to the competition. Now, this is a team of student entrepreneurs. I mentioned before that more and more students are interested in entrepreneurship. This is a team of students out of the computer science department who developed a blockchain solution to agriculture and being able to trace the provenance of agricultural products from the farm all the way through stores and to the table. They should have won the Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge last year. I think they were the best. I think there are too many business people and not enough people with a technology orientation on the panel. I think they should have won the prize, but we're going to have more and more student teams competing in the Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge and other activities related to entrepreneurship. And then research. The question is, why should we engage in research and scholarship? We're not a flagship research university, but it's about student engagement. The more our faculty can develop and build their scholarship and research activities, the more students that we can get engaged in that activity. And so this was a big, important grant that we won over the summer. The University of North Carolina System Research Opportunities Initiative awarded a team led by Kira Aduba, JT Filho, and Tariq Abdul Salam in a grant. This was the first of these ROI awards that ECU has won where we are the lead institution. And they're going to develop technology that will turn wave energy into electricity that they will then use to power water desalination processes that result in zero waste. And so that'll be great for our regional transformation mission. But look at the impact. They'll have a postdoctoral researcher, they'll have probably 2 to 4 graduate students, but over the course of the 3-year project, at least 36 undergraduates are going to be able to get involved in this research. And that's just here at ECU. There are collaborative efforts at Elizabeth City State and other institutions that are a part of this project, and they're going to have students involved as well. So our research is all about driving student engagement in that dimension of experiential learning. So, the big picture here is all of these dimensions of student engagement, simply a question of getting more and more students engaged in these different dimensions, having higher quality experiences, and having more of them to be able to maximize student success. I'll kind of sum it up with another video that I'll go ahead and show you right here. See all the hands in those videos, all the hands-on activity. It's more than just sitting in a classroom. We have to have experiential learning and hands-on engagement in order to help our students maximize their success. So the main priority, my number one priority as dean, is to build the Student Success Center. And we're investing in programming to increase student engagement at scale, not just for a few students, for every student. We want every student to be engaged. So beginning with marketing, outreach, and recruiting, we have to, if we're going to build something that's of value here, that's going to have an impact on students, then we need to ensure that we have enough, we need to maintain our enrollment, and we need to get more students, because if I'm going to maximize student success, another way to do it is to get more and more students. The more students we can impact, the more students that we can get engaged, the more success we can have, and the bigger impact we'll have on the region. We're going to maintain our level of curricular advising to make sure students are going the right direction in their academic programs. But we've launched a first year in transitions program involving student success planning and coaching. And in the future, we're going to have more advisory board and alumni engagement involved in our first year program, and expand that coaching program from the first year up to the upper class, the students in sophomore, junior, and senior classes. And then, of course, we want to invest in programs in experiential learning, from career development and leadership to a formal industry internship program, an innovation and entrepreneurship program, and an undergraduate research program, just to try to have the vehicles for getting as many students as we can engaged in these beyond the classroom experiences. Now, we're also investing in space. And don't let this picture fool you. This is an architect's rendering of what the home of the Student Success Center could look like. We're trying to, we just don't have the money right now, but we're trying to raise funds to be able to renovate the space, Raw 107, 108, to be the home of the Student Success Center. And then we've recently gotten additional space. Let me tell you, money is easy to come by compared to space. We got space on the second floor of the Bate building, and we want to renovate a suite of offices to be the new home of our academic advising center. Again, we're short on money, but long on dreams. And so we need to raise money to be able to renovate these offices and move our advising group into this suite. And then finally, we're investing in outreach. We've received permission to deliver off-site academic programs at Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point and the Wake Tech South Campus. And in general, we're expanding our engagement of our community college partners, because that's going to be an important source of students for us in the future. The number of first-time, full-time freshmen is decreasing, and we need to recruit students from the metropolitan areas, and our community college partners are going to be important for that. And along those lines, in terms of workforce development, focusing on new initiatives with industry, community college, and K-12 school partners in the areas of smart manufacturing and maintenance and the biopharma manufacturing sector. Very important areas for us to contribute in terms of workforce. And those are great places. There's huge demand for graduates in those areas, and we need to be able to supply students to those sectors. So to kind of summarize, and I know I've spoken a lot longer than Stephanie and Kendra wanted me to, but over the last 2 years, we graduated a record number of students. We're investing in student success because my working model, my hypothesis is that we have to maximize student engagement in order to maximize student success. And I believe that we are absolutely critical to the success of the university, the region, and the state. But we're facing challenges. And I'll kind of conclude here. On August 3rd and 4th, we had a hurricane come through, and And I didn't sleep very well because my house is surrounded by pine trees, and I was afraid of one of those pine trees coming in. I downloaded this bulletin, and when you see the National Hurricane Center say that, you look at that red box, about 60 miles southeast of, southwest of Greenville, North Carolina. When they're triangulating Greenville, North Carolina for the hurricane, you're in some trouble. And that hurricane was moving to the northeast. So, at 3:30, I took that screenshot over here from my phone that the center of that hurricane moved between my house and basically right over Farmville. And boy, I was worried about those trees coming down, but they didn't. And they were still standing in the morning. And that's kind of a metaphor for us. I mean, we're in a hurricane right now with a lot of different things going on, and with our national political situation and the pandemic and the economic crisis and everything. It's a real hurricane, but we are holding each other up. We're still standing, we're moving forward, and we're holding our students up. And our students are going to succeed. The faculty are doing amazing work, and I'm so proud of everything that they're doing to persevere and to maintain the forward momentum of our students. That's where we are, and I think our outlook is very strong and very good. So with that, I'll stop and leave you with my email address and our Facebook and LinkedIn addresses. You can find us there. And with that, maybe I'll stop sharing my screen and we can open the floor for questions.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me okay. My name is Stephanie Bunn. I'm an advancement officer here with the ECU Foundation and East Carolina University. I have the great privilege of working with the College of Engineering and Technology and Dean Ploehn. And so I've also had the opportunity to meet many of you, and I know we have several parents, alumni, friends on the call today. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to join us. I've been here with ECU for 12 years now, and it's a wonderful place to be. We're very excited about everything that's going on in the College of Engineering and Technology. We are going to take some questions that you submitted with your registration or that have come in through the chat as Dean Ploehn was presenting some information for you. And so I'll try to break those questions up into a few different areas, starting with the impact of COVID, because we've had several questions on how that's impacted the college. Moving on to student success and growth and future opportunities for the college. And then finally, we'll give Dean Ploehn a chance to talk a little bit about how alumni can help and be a part of moving the College of Engineering and Technology forward. So Dean Ploehn, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you great, thank you.
Perfect. Our first question is from Kristen in Wilmington, and she was wondering if there are plans to continue the online portion of labs, even if classes are, continue the labs in person, even if classes are continuing online, and how that might be done.
Yes, so thanks for the question, Kristen. So yes, we pivoted online after 2 weeks, but the university this time, compared to spring, we remained open for business. So although our courses moved to remote delivery, our faculty are still able to come on campus. And we definitely looked for ways this fall to be able to offer students the opportunity to come on campus and to do some of their hands-on work that they would have done otherwise if we had stayed face-to-face. So many of our courses, which had laboratory components, like in some of the computer labs with specialized software, students who remained in Greenville were still able to come on campus. We had lab monitors to ensure that those labs didn't get overcrowded, but they were able to come and use the specialized computers and software to be able to do their coursework. Other faculty have been working with our students who, rather than doing the labs online, or we prepared, in some courses, we prepared kits for the students to take home and to be able to do laboratory experiments using those kits in their residences. But other students and other faculty were able to arrange to have the students come in and actually do the labs in a hands-on way with very few in number. So other students are still engaged in undergraduate research. Our capstone teams in many of our programs are still meeting face-to-face, appropriately social distanced. And so we're still having a fair bit of hands-on activity and face-to-face engagement, even though we've moved our programs entirely online, officially online.
All All right, wonderful. Mike also had a question about how hands-on learning was continuing, just like we saw in the video during this time of COVID. So I think you've touched on that a little bit. I guess, do you want to elaborate on any specific ways, maybe annual activities that students generally participate in and what the plans are for those?
Yeah, engagement is a huge challenge because, you know, everyone last spring learned how to teach online. Some of them really, really quickly, but over the summer they prepared, and so we were ready for the pivot this time. I mean, in fact, even if we had not pivoted online, you know, our faculty would have been teaching a considerable number of students through remote instruction, just the students who had to quarantine or isolate when they became exposed to the virus. So that really wasn't the issue, but it's all of the other kinds of engagement, the student organizations, the undergraduate research and making sure that they were safe doing that. The other engagements have been a real challenge. So, you know, we've been working on that, trying to find ways to get student organizations to be able to work together, to have guest speakers. But, you know, things like the robotics lab and the construction management labs, students have still been able to do some of those labs. And in many cases, we have a limited number of students and faculty and student teaching assistants who can come in and do the labs under the direction of the students who are watching online via distance. So we're just getting really, really creative in the different ways that we engage students, even if they can't come physically in, so they have a virtual hands-on experience.
Excellent. And one of the questions that's come in, and maybe you can update for those who aren't aware what the plans are for spring semester and how you'll continue the innovative strategies that faculty and students are using now into the spring semester.
Yeah, we're in the planning phases of that right now, but in fact, today we had a university council meeting, and then this afternoon a special meeting of the deans with Chancellor Mitchelson to talk about spring of 2021 and how we would engage. And in some ways, it's more challenging than this fall. You know, when we were planning for this fall, we're coming back on campus, we're going to be face-to-face, and, you know, we planned for it. And in the spring, it's a little bit different because, you know, it's not quite so clear what we do. But what the bottom line is that we want to continue to increase the amount of face-to-face engagement. We will have face-to-face courses. We will be reopening the dorms to first-year students who want to come in, so we could have as many as 2,000 first-year students in the dorms in the spring. And, you know, although we will not be able to have as many face-to-face classes as we would like, the faculty right now are working to develop the teaching schedule and to develop the plans for labs so that we can have face-to-face engagement, even if the courses are in what we might call a hybrid online mode. So you know, I've charged my faculty in the college here with being innovative and creative about how they seek to engage students, because I think the majority of our students, certainly the majority of our upperclassmen, and maybe even a majority of our first-year students are actually still in the Greenville area. And so we can engage with them even if our classes are online. So now our classes are going to be default online, but with the possibility of some direct face-to-face engagement. How does that look? What does that mean? Well, if you're in an online course, and we're going to try as much as possible in this college to have online synchronous. So that means the courses will be scheduled at defined times, just like they would be if they were face-to-face. And the students will, log in and be in the class at the defined time. And the instructor's engagement will be, you know, synchronous and live. And so you'll have that face-to-face, you'll have that, you know, real-time engagement. But, you know, I'm encouraging faculty who want to teach face-to-face to broadcast their delivery from classrooms. We can find, there are going to be plenty of classrooms available. And so if we can have synchronous delivery and broadcast from classrooms and invite students who are local and want to come into the classroom to be the live studio audience, and, you know, we can schedule that, we can manage that. So we can have some student engagement in the classroom, even if our courses are officially online. And we're going to do the same thing with our lab courses as well. And we're not going to be able to do that with all the lab courses, but between, you know, the kits that we send home with students and the scheduling and, you know, the booking systems to have students come into the lab in very low numbers, very low density to be able to do labs hands-on, our capstone program in engineering and the technology systems programs, and also in computer science. You know, those student teams are still going to be able to meet. They may need to accommodate a member who's at a distance, but they will be able to engage. So we're right now planning for that. We're trying to be creative and innovative. And a very long answer, but when we get to the around mid-October, when the teaching schedule is published, I would like to have an inventory of all the different ways and all the different courses where we're going to be able to offer that face-to-face engagement and be able to present that to students and their families so they know what's coming and they can make a decision if they're not in town. Do they want to invest the money in the apartment or in the dorm and, you know, have their students be, you know, on the campus environment? There is some risk involved, but, you know, they'll be able to make an informed decision about whether or not they want to come back. And the students will be, I think, incentivized and know that they can get value here, even if their courses are primarily delivered by remote instruction.
Excellent. I think there's one last question related to that I'll go ahead and follow up with. It relates to assessment of student performance and student satisfaction with the online or the hybrid learning, and what plans the college might have to assess that.
Yeah, we've been developing some student surveys, and the Department of Engineering has been especially proactive in continually surveying their students to take their pulse, find out where their anxieties are, how they're doing, what their plans are. And so we're planning on expanding those surveys. Right now, you know, we've been in a 2-block semester, 2 8-week blocks, and it has been really, really grueling for both the faculty and the students. We're right at the end of the first block, and now is the time for us to take those surveys, especially the ones engineering has developed some great surveys, and I would like to expand those to all the departments and all the programs to really get a sense of where the students are, how they're feeling, and be able to take their input into account as we get through the second 8-week block. And then as we continue to work, especially over the holiday, holiday break, it's going to be a very long break, to prepare for spring and be able to engage them in the best and most productive way possible. Did I answer the question?
I think so. I certainly think that I know personally just how hard you and the faculty and the staff in the college have worked to rearrange everything for the fall semester to make it as safe as possible, as engaging as possible for the students. So I appreciate you sharing some insight on that. One question that's come in from the audience is about the opportunity to tour the labs, whether in person or virtually. And so I don't know if this question is coming from a student, an alumnus, or a parent, but what opportunities are there to really see inside the college?
Yeah, one of the projects going on right now is the development of videos for carrying out maybe not live virtual tours, but if you go shopping for houses now, you could take a 360-degree tour of the houses, and we are hoping and planning and hoping to be able to do the same kind of clickable tours that you can tour our facilities, and also certainly a virtual tour. I don't know if face-to-face will be permitted or not. We could always inquire and see, but certainly virtual tours will be available coming up soon. We've got ECU, what's it called? Student Days coming up, where we'll have on October 18th, I think, is an ECU a day where prospective students can visit. We'll have a whole Sunday afternoon full of engagement then. But if you contact us, contact me, and folks are interested in some kind of engagement and tour, we can certainly do that, whether it's virtual or face-to-face. Certainly the virtual we can do.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to move on a little bit to some of the questions that were submitted with registration about student success and give you a chance to talk about any student achievements that you as Dean are especially proud of from your college.
Yes, well, certainly that at-May robotics team win was a great accomplishment. The Honest Blocks team that competed in the Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge came so close to, in my opinion, winning the whole thing. I've publicizing this year's Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge and putting the word out that we'll provide coaching and mentoring to any team that makes it to the second round and beyond. I really want an engineering and technology team to win that challenge one of these years. And we have some amazing student athletes who have done excellent job in completing their engineering degrees and achieving great things on the baseball field. And we had a women's golfer who had great accomplishments. And we had a student in technology systems who won a national competition in cybersecurity, Alex Hart. And so, we have some great students who are achieving some great things right now.
Excellent. It sounds like there's lots of examples from all different areas of the college of students who are going above and beyond the curriculum and really achieving some great success in their different areas of focus. Another question that we have from our viewers about student success is if you could talk a little bit about how the students are participating in research. So I think you touched on that just a little bit earlier, but at all levels, undergraduate and graduate students.
Yes, and in the spring after we pivoted online, there was a lot of unknowns at that point about COVID and how it might spread, and so we were very, very cautious. As we learned more and gained more experience over the summer, we, led by the Division of Research, Economic Development and Engagement, developed plans and protocols for being able to bring our graduate students back on campus over the summer. And so, health and safety is the primary consideration. And so any faculty researchers who wanted to bring students back on needed to have a health and safety plan and a COVID mitigation plan. And everyone had to go through training. And so we learned a lot from that. And so when fall came around and we wanted, and we also, as time went on over the summer, we had students, undergraduate students, become engaged in research again as well. So now with this fall, I think our mitigation plans, there's no evidence that there was any virus transmission other than perhaps in the residence halls on campus. So the classrooms, the teaching laboratories, our mitigation strategies were really, really sound. And so I think that now in the fall, we were prepared, even with the pivot online, for many of our research and other kinds of experiential learning things like capstone groups were prepared to continue to meet. They all had mitigation plans that were reviewed and approved, and faculty oversight and training to be able to work together in a safe way. And that's continuing now and will continue for the rest of the semester. So we're up and running with a lot of things going on. It's just pretty quiet because we're not swarmed over with students who are going to class, but a lot of activity is still going on.
Well, that's wonderful. And I want to give you a chance to talk about some of your plans for growth in the future of the College of Engineering and Technology, but also some ways that alumni, parents, and friends of the college can help. How can they be a part of the college?
Right. The demographics in North Carolina for college-age students are not bad, actually, compared to other states around the country. I mean, we will continue as a state to have an increasing number of high school graduates who are, ready to go to college. But within the state is becoming more and more urban, and rural populations are declining. And so we face an enrollment challenge, and no matter we can't avoid that that issue, we have to talk about enrollment, because enrollment drives the state appropriation. And so we have to have a combination of enrollment and tuition revenue, and then the state appropriation that's tied to that, just to be able to operate as a university. So we have to pay attention to enrollment. Our college has done very well. We've had a 60% growth in our enrollment over the last 5 or 6 years. And we're continuing to see some growth in programs like construction management. Computer science is coming along very, very nicely. We've launched a new program within the computer science department in software engineering, and it's growing very nicely. And we have other areas like the bioprocess engineering concentration within engineering, with great workforce opportunities where we need to grow enrollment. In the technology systems department, all those technology programs are exceptionally valuable to employers. And those students who graduate in industrial engineering technology, information and computer technology, industrial distribution and logistics, they have great job opportunities, and they're very valued by employers. And so there's growth opportunities there as well. But the BS in industrial technology, that STEM degree completion program that can be done online, is a real growth opportunity as well, because students who are place bound, that's a word, place bound, that means that they are rooted in their communities. They have families, they have jobs, but they also want to advance in their careers. Well, they can complete an associate's in applied science degree at their local community college, and then they continue on to get a BS degree in industrial technology from ECU, 100% online. And the community colleges love that program because it's a driver for enrollment for them. So we're going to be increasingly partnering with community colleges and with our military partners at Cherry Point and Camp Lejeune and all of our military installations to grow enrollment via the transfer route through our community colleges. So that's a growth area for us. And that will also give us inroads into the urban areas in Wake County and Mecklenburg County to be able to recruit students who may want to come directly to ECU as first-time students, freshmen, to get the full 4-year experience.
That's wonderful. So there are many plans, it sounds like, for the college to grow and continue to have great success over the coming year and years. And I know that there's no shortage of ways for alumni to get involved, whether it's making annual gift back to the college, helping provide an internship for students within their areas. So if you want to talk a little bit more about that, and then also maybe some faculty achievements that you're really proud of as Dean.
Let me talk about the faculty achievements first. First, I know there's a few faculty on the line and a few administrators on the line, but I've said it to them in email, and I've said it to them in college meetings, but the work that the faculty are doing right now is it's nothing short of heroic. The efforts that they're making to help support our students through the difficult times that we have. And so I thank them every chance I get. I just recall the dedication that they have. One example is Martin Georgius, who was a construction management visiting faculty member from the Netherlands, who was here as a visiting faculty member for the last academic year. And in March, his mother-in-law in the Netherlands became ill with COVID-19. And so this is around the time when we shut down. He and his family got one of the last flights back to the Netherlands to go back to the Netherlands to be with his mother-in-law, who unfortunately passed away from COVID-19. But, that was a terrible loss. But he continued to teach his class to his construction management students from the Netherlands after that, and in fact led a mini symposium in the department to help other faculty members in the department become more skilled at online teaching and online delivery. And I know Carol Massara is listening in as well, and she's done great work with faculty. She's continued that tradition that Martin started in helping her colleagues become better able to deliver instruction excellently online. And we had a faculty support group that met all summer. Jason Yao The new Associate Dean for Academic Affairs convened that. But we would regularly on a Friday afternoon have 20 or 30 faculty members in this faculty support hour talking about different ideas, encouraging each other, and just helping each other to navigate and plan and be prepared for this year. And so the faculty support for students and the faculty support for each other is truly extraordinary. Now, alumni, you want to talk about alumni and what they can do. First, you know, do this. If you're not connected to us on Facebook, if you're not connected to us on Instagram or LinkedIn, get connected, because I do have big plans for alumni engagement in the future. You know, I talked about how to help our students be successful, we need to coach them up. And so we have a student success coaching and planning program right now where we use upperclassmen to be the student success coaches for our first year students. But rolling out later this year, if we can, I would like to get alumni involved to be the student success coaches for upperclassmen. Expand this program out to let any student in the college who wants to have a student success coach have one of our recent graduates or even one of our not so recent graduates to be their coach. And you don't have to have any special skill. It's like coaching pee-wee, you know, t-ball, right? You just need to be able to listen. You need to be able to ask questions, and you need to be able to share your experiences and give advice. And with a little bit of training to be able to point our students in the right direction when they need additional help. So I want alumni to get connected with us so that when we try to spin that up, we know where to reach you and get you engaged. Because the first step, I think, is getting you engaged with some of your time and talent to help us maximize student engagement. To do that at scale, we need lots and lots of people to help with that. So that's number one. Number two is, you know, certainly through your annual gifts, it's critical. You know, and even a small amount of giving. Every gift that comes in through annual giving that goes to the college priority fund goes to those student success programs that I showed in my PowerPoint. And to the advancement council members who are watching, especially, it's perfectly crystallized to me now that we need to maximize student engagement. And we need to develop a campaign to develop the funds to increase the number of staff, to increase our investment in programs, and to renovate that space in the Rawl building and in the Bate building so that we can have a student success center, staff, programs, the whole package that will tell the world that we're serious about student success through student engagement. So, you know, and then scholarships, you know, is always important, because something that prevents students from getting engaged is the fact that they need to find resources to be able to pay for college. And so they have to work jobs and take time to earn money. And that takes away from the other engagement opportunities that we want to offer them. So always scholarships are important. And, you know, even, you know, if you give $100 a year through annual giving, we can bundle 5 of those together and give a student scholarship. And you know, we need to develop and adopt a student program and ramp up our scholarships so that students can decrease the number of hours they have to work waiting tables or working, you know, out in the community, and enable them to get engaged in undergraduate research or student organizations, or those things that are really going to have an impact on them during their college years.
Well, thank you, Dean Ploehn, for your time this evening, for talking about the really dedicated and talented faculty that you have there in the College of Engineering and Technology, how committed they are to ensuring student success through this difficult and challenging year, but committed to advancing students during this. I want to thank everyone who's on the call. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for your time and your support of the College of Engineering and Technology. However you're connected, we hope you'll get more engaged. We'd love to facilitate that. And so I'll be following up with everyone tomorrow. If there's anything that Dean Ploehn or I or the college can do for you, we look forward to keeping in touch. I'm going to give you, Dean Ploehn, just the last word here. If there's anything else you want to say to our attendees But again, thank you to everyone for joining us tonight.
Yeah, I thank you all for your time. I see, holy cow, everybody is still almost on the line. We didn't lose anybody. I mean, I can't see all the pictures, but I recognize all the names. And I just want to thank you for your engagement with us. Hang in there with us as we get through this hurricane. And I appreciate you standing with us. Anytime any of you all would like to chat with me one-on-one, we can do it over Zoom. We can do it over Teams. Those of you who've been here know I've got a bench outside. We can come and sit outside and chat, you know, so I'm happy to engage with any of you anytime in any way that you're comfortable with. So please reach out to me.
All right, well, that wraps up our program for this evening. So thank you again, everyone, for attending, for your support and your gifts to ECU. And we look forward to staying in touch. Have a great night and go Pirates.